Palworld is like all our favorites got together for the most unhinged night in video game history and made a wacky monster baby. Don't you miss it though when you played those games for the first time and you knew nothing? That's what we're doing. Palworld hard mode, here I come. I'm going to spend 50 days in game with no information about how anything works, except what I learn in the game. So my goals are simple. I want to find my way around, make an epic base, and catch some cool pals. Let me talk to this person. Been a while since someone who didn't stink. Island is a living hell? Pals ate all your friends? I guess I'm on my own out here. With no time to waste, I set up a workbench, crafted some tools, smashed a rock and a tree, and in no time, I was constructing the beginning of a base. But on the Palpagos Islands, it's not a base yet until you build a Pal box. This thing is the center of your own slice of paradise, and you need to upgrade it to evolve your base. With the Pal box set up, it was time to get this adventure started proper. So I smashed the cat in his face with a club, and hit him between the eyes with a Pokeball, sphere. Now, once you catch your first Pal like this is where the game gets really cool. Because Pals can help you do all sorts of things in the game. This Cativa, for example, is really high... has a really high aptitude for handiwork. So he can help me with my balls. Oh god, he can help me make more spheres. After a quick visit to base, I caught myself a chicken and murdered another one. And that put me at level 4. Easy progress. If you want to keep making more spheres, you need wood and stone, but also paldium fragments. These come from blue rocks, which you will find near rivers all over the map. It was still day 1, I didn't really have any idea what I was doing, but I was on a mission to complete the tutorial. So I made more Pal spheres, captured a few lamb balls, and then I ran into a Dinosaur, which looked super cool, but I don't think I can fight it with a club. This one will have to wait. After a bit more mining, I had enough paldium to make 4 more spheres, which got me a lamb ball, and then I ran into another Cativa. Totally new experience, this guy chose to hit back, and if it wasn't bad enough, he called in reinforcements. Pals of the same type will come to their aid when you attack them. Slowly walking away when someone tries to slash your face, not an effective maneuver. So I got my first taste of defeat before the end of day 1. Not according to plan, but since you drop your stuff on the spot, you can get it back. It wasn't too big of a deal. So pals without beds will get stressed. Now that sucks for Cativa, but I'm not getting stressed. So I built myself a house to look out for number 1. Most of that night, I fought the roof placement mechanics while I froze my toes off. But midway through the night, I finally made it to my well-deserved beauty sleep. And that concludes day number 1. The next morning, I upgraded the base to level 3 before doing some morning exercise. Considering that I got knocked out by a house cat on day 1, I made myself a bow and some arrows. Good stuff. Now it's time to give these guys some beds, and then the next steps of base improvement require a good amount of resources. So I chopped trees to make a feed box and a campfire. That got the base to level 4, and 1 berry plantation later, we were already on level 5. Progress is flying by. I am literally insane at this game. Let's go catch that dinosaur. There, headshot. And another one. I wanna be the very best. Pals are dangerous. Once I came down from my sudden rush of god complex, I got back to base construction and made a statue of power. Here you can use Lift Monk effigies to improve your Pal sphere efficiency and Pal souls to strengthen your Pals. Both of these items can be found all over the map. That improvement got me to base level 6, and with some leftover paldium, I made 9 more spheres to prepare for the next day. On day 3, I wanted to finish the tutorial, so I started by catching 30 Pals to increase my player level. But I almost got destroyed by a fluffy lamble. They are not cute. Pretty soon, I got to level 7 from the catching bonus, and then I found a Fox Sparks, which looks really awesome. It was a bit of a challenge to catch it, but for the next little while, this would be my best buddy. Next, I expanded my Pal collection with a Pangullet, and then a Gummos. And then I talked to the Skilled Islander, whom I really should have listened to. They're called Skilled Islander, for God's sake. This Skilled Islander teaches you the most important leveling mechanic in the game. The first 10 times you catch a new type of Pal, you get a significant catching bonus. But for number 11, you don't. Skipping through this dialogue is definitely not going to come back and haunt me, don't worry. After almost getting knocked out, I caught a Cremis, which was quite enough excitement for day 3. I hadn't finished the tutorial yet, but I managed to catch 19 Pals today. Not bad at all. On day 4, I reached the end of my New Year's resolution, as this was the last morning where I did my work. Once you make a logging site, you never have to worry about having enough wood. And with the stone pit, the same is true for your stone supply. Find the right pals, put them to work, and they will do all the hard labor for you, free of charge. I'm not going there. You draw your own conclusions. If you add a crusher to the base as well, you can use a pal with a watering skill, such as Pangullet, to turn your basic resources into fiber and pallium, pretty much removing the need to use your tools ever again. With all those new upgrades, the base was now level 7, and I had caught the last 6 remaining pals in the meantime. So that just left one thing on the list to complete the tutorial, but it would have to wait for the next day. The rest of the day was spent gathering resources, organizing my base, and making sure that I was on my best behavior for the younger viewers by finally putting on some clothes. After all, I've been walking around in my loincloth for 4 days. With all the drip in the world, I turned in for an early night because the next day was gonna be a big one. The last goal on the tutorial list was defeating a boss at Rain Syndicate's tower. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but I think there's a pretty good chance that if we walk towards that big futuristic tower over there, we're going to find out. On the way over there, I fought a level 10 Nightwing, the strongest spell I had seen beyond the level 17 Dinosaur that absolutely humbled me on day 2. After barely dodging out of the way, I managed to catch it. I'll have to check my tech tree soon to figure out when I can use it as a flying mount. I literally can't wait. On the way to the tower, I captured a Melpaka, which gives me pretty strong piñata vibes. As I walked up the hill, I came across an actual battleground where a group of Syndicate thugs were murdering pals. Unheard of, how could they? Fighting the Syndicate with a bow was actually pretty epic, but Foxpark did a little here too. Once the dust settled, I caught a Rush Ore, which is an insanely important pal, but I would only find that out later by accident. Right after, I found a Fwak, and I tried to catch it, but he wasn't having it. The deceivingly cute looking duck pal didn't give a fuck about what I wanted and blasted me unconscious. I still caught him though. Fair trade, I guess. Running back from the waypoint took a while, and I had to climb up a rock face to avoid more Syndicate thugs, but I got my stuff back without any real problems. Thing is, it was already pretty late. With night falling and no waypoint in sight, I had to make it through the night somehow. I managed that with varying success. A pal called Daydream tried to ruin my life. I froze my toes off once again, but luckily Foxparks was there to save the day and keep me warm. As the morning sun came up, I caught a Sparkit, which looks really cool if you ask me. And with that, I had made it to day 6. But in the dark of night, I had not managed to find my way to the Syndicate Tower just yet. But on the morning of day 6, I found a waypoint at the base of the tower. Before taking on the challenge, I cleared out a bandit camp right next to it and released a Fuddler. I have no idea why they captured this guy. He's not the most inspired critter I've seen around here. Anyway, enough stalling. It's time to beat that tower challenge and finish the tutorial. Without any idea of what to expect, I made my way to the entrance and entered the arena. Okay, he looks big, bad and mean, but we cut those. I'll be the distraction so Foxparks can take him out. Get him, switch target. This is fine, Oh my god, that was 2/3 of his health. I gotta get out of here. Yeah. Palworld hard mode is a raw deal. Very afraid that my corpse was now left in the boss arena, I made my way back to the tower. Luckily, my stuff and my pals were dropped outside. I spent the rest of that day gathering some iron and getting a furnace set up, because one thing was very clear. This tutorial boss is no joke, and I need to make some more progress if we're going to get this done. As if things weren't bad enough, on day 7, I woke up to a raid. A bunch of Lee spunks invaded the base because they wanted to have lamb ball for breakfast. I was having none of it. After peace and quiet finally returned to the base, I went out to gather flame organs and iron before calling it an early night. Day 7 was not the most eventful day. Day 8, however, was very different. When I woke up and saw Rushor working at the stone pit, I remember that I had seen a saddle in the tech tree. Turns out, that saddle is an absolute game changer. Initially, I thought you could use it to improve your mobility by the tiniest amount. But then, I accidentally used Rushor's charge attack and ran through a pile of stones. It turns out, you can use this attack on resource nodes. It may not seem like much now, but wait a couple days and you'll see how much this matters. There is one thing to keep in mind though, it is called reckless charge for a reason. Try not to run off a cliff or something. Okay. I think my only option is to swim across here. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna make it. Please! Please! Oh god! I'm literally drowning! Oh my god. We made it. I was 2 seconds away from dying across the sea. Now I just have to find a waypoint to travel back. Okay, I made my way up this mountain to find a really big Easter egg. I don't know. Anyway, there is a waypoint up ahead, so I'm just going to craft a glider, and from this high up, we should be able to get quite close. Here goes nothing. Stamina, why? This is not good, this is not good, this is... No! Oh god, that was close. I just want to get back home now. That's the second time I almost stranded. If I die here, we're never getting my stuff and my pals back. I'm super far out. Luckily, my streak of stupid moves had ended. So I rode my noble steed over someone's roof right into the small settlement. I didn't even bother to look around and see who lived here. I just wanted to get home, go to bed, and forget about all the near-death experiences of the day. So naturally, I stepped right into a campfire. God, this day sucks. On the morning of day 9, I built a hot spring. I pretended it was for my pals, but I just really needed it. It got my base to level 8, but I wasn't much closer to beating the tower challenge. I did feel brave enough to catch a deer. It's just a deer. I did get better at dodging out of the way of things, which is kind of essential if you want to live in hard mode. The rest of that day, I spent getting Paldium and some other resources, before almost getting destroyed by a Caprati. I managed to capture it though. Half that, I climbed up a rampart to a new waypoint, and then I made it back home for an early night. Life is rough on the Palpagos. I deserve this. Near the Fort Ruins waypoint that I used to get back home, I spotted an icon on the map that marked a level 11 chillet. It looked interesting and within my level range, so I decided to investigate it. Once I got to the summit of the mountain, I found a dragon worm axolotl pal. Yes, that's definitely what it is. A dragon worm axolotl. One word. I need some arrows before we fight it. Let's just make a workbench here, and then some last preparations. I'll just hit them with a bam, and then like that, and shove it, and elbow it, bam, on the top. A man has never been better prepared. Let's catch the thing. Hold on, Fuddler, we gotta lure him over here. That was close. Poor Butler's getting destroyed out there. Come back, buddy. Now I just have to catch it. Nope. Another one. Oh, come on. Come on. Yes, got it. Well, we failed the tower challenge, but that was the first boss of the game out of the way. Over the bridge from where we caught Chillet, I found a bunch of metal nodes put together. This looks like the perfect spot to make a base later. This day was already very awesome, so the rest of it I spent simply gathering resources, so that in the evening I could put together the medieval medicine bench. This is the only thing I needed to level up my base to level 8. Before going to bed, I climbed into my house like any normal person would do, and then I got some well-deserved rest. First thing in the morning, I upgraded my base to level 9, and then I went through the tech tree to unlock the deer saddle, and houseplants, because those look really neat. I upgraded my armor to pelt armor, and then I made the deer saddle, while said deer chilled incredibly hard in the hot tub behind me. Alright, time to test it out. Holy, that feels so awesome! After riding around for a little bit to enjoy the newfound mobility, I teleported to the small settlement to explore some new terrain. The gossipy villager told me about caves. Sounds cool. We'll explore one soon if I can find it. And I checked out the wandering merchant's store. He's got some interesting things for sale. I guess? Who am I kidding? I don't know what all this stuff is. Going up the stairs from the settlement, I found a bridge that looked really cool, where me and Chillet rescued a Sparky from some thugs. I caught a dire howl, which looks absolutely savage, and a jolt hog, which is super cute. So those two averaged out in a way that nobody cares about. When the dark of night started setting in, me and Ike... He's called Ike now, I'm done. Me and Ike made a run for it to find a waypoint, and we made it to the bamboo groves, just in time. That was a cool day. I covered a lot of distance. There's just one thing I really gotta get off my chest.
Fuck you, Ike.
On day 12, I got to explore this brand new exciting zone. But it didn't quite go according to plan. First, Chillet got absolutely destroyed by a grenadier. And then I failed to learn a lesson, so I got blasted too. Then I got destroyed by a celery, and when I came back to get my stuff, I got shot within 2 hit points of dying by a dire howl. Out of pure desperation, I just went and stood in the hot tub for a second. But it didn't help. So I got myself back together somehow, only to get murdered by a woolly pup, a thwack, a dire howl, and ultimately a wild Ike. Day 12 was not my day. I should not have been this rude about Ikes. You know what I could really use right now? A redemption arc. So today has to be the day that we kill the tower boss and finish the tutorial. What could possibly go wrong? To prepare for the fight, I made a Chillet saddle, and with all my strongest pals in my party, I made my way to the Syndicate Tower for round 2. I learned from last round that we have to outrun Griswold or he does a ton of damage. Shoot and turn, that did about 180 damage. 30k health is a lot, but it just might work. Ooh, that was nearly it. I gotta keep a bit more distance. The next few minutes I kept my eye on the clock. If I could manage to do more than 3k damage per minute, this fight was winnable within the time limit. Griswold has all his stat points in strength and none in intelligence, so he just kept slowly chasing me down. It's going well, but Chillet needs to eat. This is going to be sketchy. Alright, I'll just create a little bit of distance. Okay, open my after I get the berries. I gotta be quick. Eat. Ooh, just in time. As the clock ran down, so did Griswold's health. And with 40 seconds left on the clock, I landed the final dragon cannon. Whoa, that was intense. But we can definitely call it a redemption arc. I just got 5 ancient technology points for completing this fight, by the way. But in the heat of the moment, I didn't even notice. That was a big mistake, and it will come back to haunt me. But that's kind of the beauty of this playthrough. I know nothing, and I'm just making my way through the world, as good as I know how. If you want to see me do it again, but much better, leave a like on the video, 25,000 likes, and I'll make a part 2. On day 14, I woke up as the master of my own destiny. The tutorial was completed, and there was nothing to tell me what to do. So I figured today was the perfect day to do some interior decorating and make my house a home. First off, let's put a staircase here leading into the house so the handiwork squad can help me out. This is much more fun if I don't have to do it by myself. Alright, let's put some flower pots here, a table, some stools, then we can have some shelves on the wall, and maybe flowers on the table here. We need a chest. Yo, this is looking awesome. I love it. All the models for furniture in the game are really cool. You can make your base look super lively with it. The rest of the day, I spent getting the resources for the Palsphere workbench together, so I could upgrade the base to level 10 that evening. With access to the sphere workbench and player level 14, I could now craft mega spheres. So brave as I was feeling, after killing Griswold, I thought it would be a good idea to go catch another boss. Not too far from the starter area, you can find a giant lake where Azuroth lives. What a cool pal, I gotta catch this one. Oh god, Chilla did not see that coming. What the? I just got wrecked by a dragon cannon that didn't even hit me. Okay, try again. After getting wrecked a second time when I tried to get my stuff back, I learned my lesson. I decided to do some exploring instead. I found this epic waterfall over here, and I don't know what's on the other side. I'll just climb up here, and then over here. With all these small ridges, I bet I can make it all the way up the falls. Who needs an air mount anyways? Okay, I'll go up here and then use my Celery as a glider to get to the other side. Whoa, I wasted all my stamina on climbing. We're going down. Oh god, no stamina to swim. If I can just make it to that rock over there. Let me oh no, come on. This is bad. I just died super far away from my base. With all my mobility pals on me. Day 16 is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, interesting. I'm naked, stop hitting me! After the raid chaos died down, I had to come up with some sort of a plan to get my stuff back. So I made a dire howl saddle, because that was the only pal I had in my pal box who could run. And then we set out on a journey. A bloody long journey, I tell you. But it worked. I got my stuff back. Now I just had to climb my way out of the canyon that I was stuck in. After I managed to make it to the top, the mission was to get to a waypoint, because I still had no way to get my rescued pal party back to base. Okay, that took forever, but I found this boss arena labeled the Sealed Realm of the Thunder Dragon. Sounds pretty epic, but according to my map, this is a level 31 boss, and even this Relaxaurus is 5 levels higher than my Chillid. I have no business being here. What's that sound? I was about to go to bed, but this needs investigating. Whoa, 2 shiny chickens. I want to catch these guys because they look special. Turns out that shiny pals are a lot bigger, stronger, and they have crazy attacks. I mean, this is insane behavior for a chicken. What they're not is smarter. And neither am I, because I somehow managed to kill both of them like a dumbass. On day 17, I woke up with a strong urge to get my act together. I set out with Chilla to find a good area to level up when I came across an abandoned mine shaft, where I found this shady character. A level 40 Black Marketeer boss. Scary stuff. Luckily, I don't have to fight this guy. I can just sell him all my trash pals I've caught so far, and spend that money on a... Let's go for Gale Claw. Alright, there's another waypoint right here. Let's teleport home. Okay, there's something I've been wanting to do. Here at the Statue of Power, you can increase your catching capabilities, but you can also level up your pals. And I have a bunch of pal souls. So let's spend those on upgrading Chillet's stats. Okay, there's actually a raid going on right now, but I can't be asked. I've done enough for today. I'm gonna go to bed. Pals, you sort it out. And so I went to bed, hoping that I would still have a base in the morning. The good news is that I did indeed still have a base, and I had made it to level 15. Which is the level where you unlock the Nightwing saddle in the texture. So I made a saddle, a mill, and then I went out exploring with Nightwing. The view was spectacular, and I learned that there are Liftmunk effigies all over the map in high places. Amazed by all the new terrain that I could access, I spent day 18 and 19 mostly just exploring. I found lots of spots with overpowered pals that I really couldn't mess with yet, and lots of cool places. Like this, what even is this? This looks epic. Also, I discovered that I have never bothered to make a shield, which is probably why I keep dying all the time, since everything 1 or 2 shields me. By the end of day 19, I had seen so much cool stuff that I couldn't really interact with until I leveled up. So I decided that the next day I was going to grind player levels, something that I should have done much sooner. The best way to grind levels early on is to catch 10 of every type of pal that you can find. So I took Chillet out and started doing just that. On all my adventures, I had collected a lot of Paldium, so I made no less than 58 Pal spheres. And with the help of Chillet's Dragon Cannon and my crossbow, I caught everything that moved. And when I say everything that moved, I mean literally everything that moved. Because I had not listened to the skilled islander early on, so I was just behaving like a lunatic. This Foxparks, yeah, didn't give me a bonus. But I didn't notice, I was too busy catching everything, and I had a great time. Late in the afternoon, I found a cave that had opened up on the beach. The first time exploring this was pretty epic, and I found a Mao, which I hadn't seen before. Every cave has a final boss Pal, which is a boss version of a Pal which is bigger and stronger. In this case, the boss was a... Guys, I can't help it, they keep coming for me. Anyway, I caught it. By the time I came out of the cave, it was already the next morning. I had managed to go from level 15 all the way to level 18 in just one day. Now that is progress. On day 21, not much happened. I was busy catching everything that moved while collecting all the Paldium fragments that I found on the ground and crafting them up into more spheres. I started catching more and more Pals past the first 10 catching bonus, but I was so busy enjoying the process that it took a little while before I noticed it. On day 22, I checked the upgrade requirements for the base. For the next level, I needed a cooking pot and a wheat plantation. Somehow, I remembered that the wandering merchant in the small settlement sold wheat seeds, so I made my way over there to pick up the goods. After building both the wheat farm and the cooking pot, I upgraded the base to level 11 and got back to catching Pals to level up. I kept going all through the night and ran into a shiny Hookrates, but once more, I accidentally killed it. The shinies are just not for me, I guess, but the kill got me to level 21 all the same. At the end of the night, I caught a Tombat, which is a really useful Pal, as I'll find out later when working on a new base. On day 23, I made a weapons workbench with the squad, and that put the base on level 12. For the next step of base development, I need to unlock the fluffy Palbat, but that one is only available on level 24 in the tech tree. The rest of the day, I tried to catch Pals to level up, but at this point the XP well seemed to dry up a bit, and I realized I was going about it all wrong by catching more than 10 Pals at a time. All in all, day 23 wasn't that interesting, so the next day I decided to go big. I just woke up and felt like this was the day. It was time to head back to the lake and try and catch Azurobe. Let me tell you, it made for an epic fight. Yeah, not this time. What the hell? Slowly, me and Chillet got Azurobe's health down in a fight that lasted all through the day, until finally it was just me and my crossbow chipping away at the last bit. Come on! I gotta get close again. Wait, where is she going? As night fell, Azurobe just went to sleep with just 9 hit points left. It made for an easy catch. That was a weird end. But I got my legendary, so I'm happy. Once I made my way home, the base was under siege from a syndicate raid. But by now, I had figured out that raiders have incredibly broken AI. So I casually blasted them with Chillet's Dragon Cannon, and then went to bed like it was a normal weekday. On day 25, right at the midway marker of this challenge, I decided that it was time for a second base at the ore spot, where I first caught Chillet. My starter base was a hot mess that very much betrayed the fact that I started the series with zero knowledge. I wanted to do better, so it was time to move out. On my way up the hill, I caught Chillet for the 3rd time. This is actually really important to do, but I didn't know that at the time, so I was just in it for the XP points. Okay, it's just across the bridge here. I'm going to put the Pal box here on the side, and that should make for a nice area where I can build around it. Oh, sick, I wasn't expecting this. But when you make a second base, it already operates as a level 12 base. That means we can just put everybody to work and have this place up and running in no time. Oh, okay. We have a raid happening. Let's see how they're going to get up here. Turns out the answer is they won't. God, this AI is terrible. Alright, let's get up there and build some pelicans. With the first essentials out of the way, I cleared the platform up above of any trees because this is where I'm going to build my new house. Right, I'll just put some foundations up here, then some walls and windows around the sides, some stairs to get in there, and a bed. That'll be all for today. We continue construction in the morning. I got a little stuck with construction last night. The building components actually aren't that expensive, which I really like, but we still need a pretty decent amount to build a proper base. So let's set up a logging site here first, a feed box for when everyone is hungry, and let's change the Palworld workforce up a little bit. Ooh, Tomba has level 2 mining, that's pretty nice. The deer and Dinosaur are really good at harvesting lumber. Look at them go, passive income all day. Okay, then we need a stone pit, and not to forget a hot tub for everyone to relax after a hard day's work. Otherwise they go insane, that's not good. Speaking of a hard day's work, I mined a lot of palladium to get all this stuff constructed. I'm tired, let's call it a day. Yesterday seemed to go by super quick, but the base is pretty much operational now. So today we can focus on the house. Feels like a good start, the location is awesome. Right, let's put a second floor over here. That can be the bedroom. Roofs are so tricky to place, but at least I'm not freezing to death this time. Hey, I found a trick. If we use these temporary walls, it's much easier to find the snap point. Then it's just a matter of pressing C and removing the supports in this assembly mode. And we get the resource back too, so this is perfect. Then the bed goes over here. Let's see how this looks from the outside. Yeah, it's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to add like a balcony here to balance out the build a little bit, but it's not really working. Yeah, this ain't it. Be gone. Maybe these defensive walls can work as supports. Nah, that's not it either. They look too heavy. Let's try something else. What if the balcony is suspended? And then we'll use these wooden benches as railings. I can see that work. Stools in the middle to fill the gaps maybe? How about a wooden chest here to fill that space with a bigger element? Before I knew it, day 27 had flown by, and there was a lot of construction left for the next day. The next morning, before I even got to work constructing the house, I decided to get the iron production at the new base started. That's why we settled up here after all. Using rush ore, I rammed all the ore rocks and let Fox Sparks do the smelting while I got back to building my hilltop mansion. I've come up with a pretty wild idea. I think we can use these wooden bar stools as pillars if we can stack them on top of each other. Okay, wait. Let's just put another one next to it and then climb up there. Nice, that works. From right up close, it's a little awkward, but I bet this works great from a distance. Yo, that is so much better than it was. I spent all afternoon to make something similar work with supports from below, but whatever I tried, it wouldn't quite line up. So in the end, I just took those down again. Let's put some torches up here to light everything up a bit. And then for some interior, how about a wooden counter over here? Give it a little bit of a tavern vibe. That looks great, I really like it. I kept working on the interior all through the night, but when the next morning came around, I wanted to make the most of the daylight, so I went back outside. The house is looking cool already, but the shape is a bit odd with that flat roof section. Nothing we can't fix though. I'll just put a statue of power right here in the middle, and then barrels up here, one on top of the other, with a campfire on top. Oh, that looks cool, I like it. Let's break out this window here. That looks a little awkward. And then I'll make a walkway here. Use some benches, barrels, chests, stools, and whatever else to make a railing. Ooh, these chairs work well. Okay, let's take a look. Yo, this looks like a cool house. That is an awesome base to work from for the rest of the video. Time to call it a night. On day 30, my brain finally worked, and I realized I was wasting so many spheres and not earning catching bonuses on every pal I caught. Oh my god, look at this. 22 lamb balls, 12 Kativa, 23 Chickpea, 16 Kremis. God, I'm such a noob. At least now I had a way to keep track. So I caught useful pals only all day and got to level 24. Before gathering a bunch of ore late at night with the rush ore. Get it? I just made a new shield as well. That should really help. Now it's time to go to bed, but I don't really feel like it. Maybe I can use this time to improve the bedroom a bit. Let's put a plant over here. Wooden shelf along this wall. Then a bookshelf on the other side. Another plant. And then how about a wall shelf here above the bed to finish it off? That's much better. I just worked through the entire night, but there was no time to relax in the morning because I was under siege from a herd of Relaxaurus. No big deal, I just let Chillet fuse them into a wall. Besides that weird start to the morning, there isn't all that much to say about day 31. I caught a bunch of different pals, and when the night came around, I visited the black marketeer to sell all the pals that I didn't need. Because my pal box had really been filling up from all the leveling. I bought a Maraith and a Serpent from the profits because I didn't have those yet. And then, rather than going home, I decided to speed up my progress and take on the next boss. Next in line was this big floof called King Paka. Yo, apparently he's the Supreme Fluff Commander, sick title. He was a little scary at first, until Chillet launched him way up in the air, and that completely broke his brain. Look at that, he's just standing there looking up. Well, easy catch. Since the sun was up already, I didn't see any point in going home. We still need these Bixies, and this Depresso as well. Most of day 32, I was just out and about finding pals that I hadn't caught 10 times yet, which got me all the way to level 26 when I completed the Rush Ore collection. And then I got to a place that I didn't dare to enter the last time around. The sealed realm of the Invincible. Let's see what this place is all about. And so I entered Ketris' boss arena. Okay, she's low. Now I just gotta try and catch her. We'll find a lot of these sealed realms across the map, and every boss fight has its own challenges, but in all of them, the pillars seem to be really important. With a little bit of daylight left after the fight, I caught a couple more pals for the XP. Late at night, I found a waypoint and made my way home after a productive day. Time to get some sleep and dream of the awesome pal team that we're building right now. I started out day 33 by building the fluffy pal bed and upgrading my base to level 13. It turns out that regardless of where you build them, your bases all over the map really work as one combined base in terms of upgrades. So you don't need to have all the upgrade requirements for different levels at one location. Next, I made a power generator, which was quite expensive with 50 ingots and 20 electric organs, but the resources are steadily coming in now, so I could afford it. I have no idea how this thing works, and if your electronics need to be connected or close or anything, I'll just put it over here for now. Since beating and catching boss pals gives you a ton of XP as well, I set out to fight the Supreme Fluff Commander once more. And he broke again. Early access magic. There's another boss location that we found a while ago which I want to check out. But before heading there, I quickly went by the base to collect some Gigaspheres from the Sphere workbench. And then I went to the sealed realm of the Swordmaster to catch one of my new favorite pals. Bushy, the Vagrant Warrior, has a really surprising moveset that kind of caught me off guard. First off, he has a grass attack, which I did not see coming from a fire type. But more importantly, he has a move that bridges a lot of distance real quick. Still, me and my team managed to gradually get his health down. And then, all that was left to do was get in there, throw a sphere, and catch it. Oh god, 4% capture rate? That's not gonna work. How about a Gigasphere? Please work. Okay, one more. Oh. Yes. No! Oh, I only have 2 spheres left. Get it? Come on. Nice. Yo, that was such a cool fight. On the morning of day 34, I spent some time decorating the interior of my new base. I added a table and some stools next to the bar, made a desk right at the other end, and built a bit of an office around it. These couches and chairs are pretty epic as well. Let's put those over here. All these details are awesome, I love it. To refill my ingot supply after yesterday's investment, I ran Rusher around the ore nodes to collect more resources, while I casually sat there with 1 hit point and a stomach full of nothing. I'll eat whenever I want to, hunger is not the boss of me. Later on the day, I was out exploring when I found another cave that had these big pallium ore rocks. If you come across a cave, check it out, these things are pretty nuts. I caught a few pals in there that I still hadn't collected 10 times, and I tried to catch the level 17 Rebunny boss. It really did not want to get caught, but in the end, I got it. When I came out of the cave, I realized I'd been in there for a long time, because it was already the next morning. Near the cave, I ran into another Rebunny, and I decided to catch it. It looked pretty harmless. Oh my god, there's a whole army of them! The situation turned pretty dicey, so I let Bushy figure it out for me and only caught the very last one. After the warming up, Bushy couldn't be contained, and he single-handedly took out an entire syndicate outpost, allowing me to get my very last Fwak for the collection. Fuck you, Fwak! Alright, the reason I was even up here is that I'm looking for a boss that should be in this area, but it's not on top of the mountain where I expected it. Oh, I think this is what I'm looking for. After entering the mineshaft, it got really dark, but stubborn as I am, I struggled my way through the dark twisting tunnel to find Fanglobe. What followed was a fierce battle where I had to send out all my pals to wear the legendary stag down. But while Catchers held it at bay, I got destroyed by an acid cloud while stuck against one of the cave walls. Luckily, I still had a spare Nightwing in my pal box, so I made my way back there and tried again. As long as Bushy was out, I could see what it was doing, but without Bushy, it got real dark. Oh my god, that hit me for 1500 health points. Yo, I'm so stressed. If I take one more hit, I'm dead. Catch Rest was very low. I had to send out Chillet. At least my shield has regenerated. Still, one of those clouds could end me. Very close. God, this is way better. At least I can see. He's getting low. Alright, I'm gonna try to catch it. Ooh. Come on. Come on. No. How did I even jump over that? Oh god, I caught it. That was the most intense fight yet. Let's just get out of here. I need sleep. The next day, I quickly set up the sphere assembly line and upgraded the base to level 14. But once that was done, I wasted no time making the Fanglobe saddle. It was an absolute game changer. Back when I made the Ike saddle, it felt like all of a sudden I could move around the world. Well, now I really could. That day, I spent mostly running through the world enjoying the scenery, before deciding to fight the level 28 Petalia boss at night. Unfortunately, I made a mistake when withdrawing Chillet by accidentally sending out Catchers, who then struck the killing blow. So I didn't manage to catch Petalia. We'll have to come back later, I'm afraid. After the fight, Fanglobe carried me home and I got some well-deserved rest after a long day of traveling all around the map. With the sphere assembly line, I now had access to hyperspheres, which needed both ingots and cement. They're expensive. But some of these bosses are really hard to catch, so I'm still going for it. On Fanglobe's back, I raced past the moonless shore and through a swamp that I hadn't seen before to unlock a new waypoint. I'm further out from the starter area now, and there are fewer waypoints with way more distance between them. Even Fanglo will only get me so far. To get to the further regions of the map, you'll probably need some insane mount that I can't get just yet. Exploring all these new areas, I found tons of Liftmonk effigies, and another good spot for a metal gathering base. This could be really useful later on, because ingots seem to be the resource bottleneck right now. Oh my goodness, look at this view. I really like the map design for this game. It feels like a world you really want to explore. And explore it I did, all day long. Until I found a very far out waypoint and I could safely teleport home to get some sleep. On day 38, I cleared out the entire southwestern corner of the map of any boss I could find. I caught a Sweeper, a Broncherry, and a boss of a Gummos deep in the night. Lunaris seemed to be a little too challenging still. So after all that excitement, I decided to call it a day. The next day, I took Fanglope out even further west to explore more of the map. After picking up this Liftmonk effigy, I had a moment of pause and decided to take a look at my tech tree. And that's when it hit me. I've been so excited playing through this game that I've barely taken the time to properly read everything or, well, even take a good look at anything like my tech tree, for example. Somehow, I've missed this entire right-hand column of ancient technology. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there that I should have tried out earlier. Whoops. Yo, this place looks crazy. I'm intrigued. Let's get up there. Whoa, ominous. Oh dang, I'm taking heat damage. I gotta get to the waypoint over there, but Nightway is so slow. Let's make a run for it. Okay, I'm out of here. I need heat resistance armor to go further west, so instead I decided to make a Vanworm saddle and make my way to the Moonless Shore to fight Elphadran. He did a lot of damage to my team, but Chillet's ice type advantage was the decisive difference. Until something unexpected happened. Oh god, he sent him flying! Whoa, oh my god! He just took half his health bar as fall damage? That's insane! Chillet, you're a monster! Evening was falling, but I wasn't done for the day. So I quickly made my way over to the sealed realm of the Stalwart, where I got to fight Warsect. Just by the size of it, this was the scariest boss yet. Look at that thing! At this point, the bosses are so strong that I need multiple pals on my team to defeat them. Fanglope and Bushy are already done, and he's only halfway there. Yo, that pillar saved me just there. Get it? Oh! I got 31%. Only 5 cheers left. This the one? No. Dodge out of the way first. Come on. Oh, only 2 left. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Yes! Got it. It was already morning when I came back home, but I wasn't going to hang out at base right now. The boss hunting works great as a leveling strat, so I just want to keep going. Let's make as many hyperspheres as I can and get back out there right away. This time, I went as far north as I could go to the Mossanda Forest waypoint. With Bushy's help, I managed to catch a gory rat. But after that, I started getting into more serious trouble. The pals here are a lot stronger, which means the fights last longer. That means I have to do a lot more dodging. And that's only the beginning of the problem, because my crossbow doesn't really do enough damage anymore to bring the last bit of their health down. That means the catches are hard and... okay, that was a lot of words. It's really simple. I got wrecked. So I got my stuff back and chose to go exploring rather than trying to catch these pals right now. They're out of my league for the moment. Yo, this terrain looks crazy. There's gotta be something cool around here. Okay, hold on. I see the Jormungandr thing, but I also just noticed how insane Venlope's antlers are. It's gotta have a strong ass neck not to fall double backwards. Holy fuck. Oh, yeah, you're inside. We're not messing with that. I'm out. Yo, imagine how big of a pal this skeleton would belong to. That's an actual mountain with legs. Or fins, or whatever. I have no clue what this thing would look like. Got the effigy. Nice. And another one? I keep finding these things all over the map, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And it took me all night to find what I had seen on the map. The Shoal Mine Shaft. That should lead me right to... exactly, a Broncherry Aqua boss. Let's do this. Broncherry Aqua is a respectable boss, but this fight was about to be much harder than it needed to be. Because I'm a bit of an idiot, and I still have not made the hip lancer. Which means I can't see what I'm doing. The walls are invisible because of the darkness. And that got me in a lot of trouble. But, oh god, how do I get out of here? Where's the exit? Is this... I'm just gonna try and hide. I can't see. I can't see. I'm dead. I must be dead. I must be dead. Oh god. I have no idea how I got out of that. Fanglope saved me there. The fight lasted all through the morning, but at least that meant I could see again. Oh! Almost ran into the grenades there. No way! First try! I was so sure I was gonna die there. On day 41, I made a pal condenser, a fancy looking machine that lets you squeeze all the pal juice out of your pal and pour it into another pal of the same type to make it strong. Yeah, we're getting to the more sinister aspects of the game now. Anyway, for the first upgrade, you need 4 pals as food to give to the 1 pal you want to upgrade. So I started the daily morning ritual of catching a new chili. That's one. Because unfortunately I didn't know about this contraption, so I sold my extra chillets on the black market for a bargain price. I regret that now. The rest of the day wasn't that interesting. Until I realized that late at night it's super easy to spot live monk effigies out in the mountains. So I took Van Worm out to collect a few of the shiny greens. The next morning, I got another chillet to blend into a chillet juice cocktail before venturing out in the world and catching a boss Killamari in a cave that got me to level 31. That entire day, I was out and about catching pals for XP, including all through the night when I caught a Incineran and yet another King Paka bright and early the next morning. At this point, I really wanted to get my hands on a gun to get the full Pokemon with guns experience before we made it to day 50. The first gun in the tech tree is the Musket on level 21, but by now I could also get the level 29 handgun. There was just one small issue. I need 15 high quality pal oil to craft it, and I have no idea where to get that from. So I came up with the relatively straightforward plan of just running around the map and catching pals until I had located the source. Before I set out for that quest, I dropped by my starter base to upgrade my capture power from level 4 straight to level 6. I had collected a lot of these live monk effigies just by making my way through the world. And then it was time for a day full of adventures where I caught a Pinking in the boss arena, which got me to level 32. I challenged the Univolt boss, which got me immediately killed, but I wasn't ready to take the L here. So I came back and danced around this oil rock for the entire fight to get the capture. Day 43, I only really ran around the map and collected effigies, but day 44 was simultaneously one of my worst and one of my best days of this entire video. First, I found the Realm of the Swift, a level 35 Verdash boss arena that terrifies me. I don't think I'm ready to go in there quite yet, but maybe I should have gone in there, because not much later I got myself into quite the situation trying to catch pals much lower than level 35. Holy, what? I was literally at full health there. No big deal. I just went back to get my... okay. Now I literally don't know what killed me. Okay, that's it. I'm getting my stuff and then I'm done. I'm just going back to fighting bosses and grinding levels until I figure out how to stop dying in one hit. The answer to that question is clearly getting decent armor. But I'm too busy exploring instead of getting resources, so I'm broke. Hush. To fix my self-esteem a little bit, I went to catch the Relaxaurus Lux. It was a long and hard fight, where I used the pillars better than in any boss fight yet. Get dodged, fool! Then I teleported home to catch my chillet for the day, almost forgot, and I set out for one more boss, the level 32 Lunaris. This one has got some sick moves. But with 30%, I got lucky and I caught it with my very first Hypersphere. Nice! That day turned from terrible into pretty good after all. By the time I came out of Lunaris boss arena, it was already day 45. I started my way back home, collecting a few Liftmonk effigies on the way. Once I got back to the base, I caught one more Chillet, and I was then able to fuse them, getting me a 1-star Chillet with a level 2 partner skill. Epic, I guess. I then decided that before reaching day 50, I wanted to get the weapon assembly line and quality hot spring done, so I could get the base to level 15 and add a third base for increased ingot production. But before doing that, I wanted to try catching Memorest, the first boss you run into when you start the game. So I went over to the starter hills and got in a fight with this absolute tank. This guy did so much damage that I had to get my pals out of the way by scooping them up in their sphere right as they were about to get hit. Chillet performed the signature move. It didn't do a lot. Relaxaurus Lux hit for 1 damage at a time and took hundreds. This was a struggle, and I figured that the only way I could get it done is kite the Memorest around this rock right in the middle. Oh god, he's so close! He's so close! Turned out that the only way I could get anything done was keep switching out my pals so they could heal a little. And then late at night, I got it all the way down to single-digit hit points. Before, it did the same thing as Azurope earlier and took a nap. And even that was not enough to make it an easy catch. I burned all my Hyperspheres on it, and then all my Gigaspheres, till I caught it with the second to last. Whew, close call. The fight lasted all through the night, so it was morning by the time I made it back to the base to collect the ore nodes. Once all of that was in the furnace, I decided to do a run of boss battles because I hoped it would lead me to the source of high quality pile oil. I started off fighting Azurope, which wasn't the place to get it, but I did realize here that all bosses actually give you ancient civilization parts. Pretty important piece of information. Next, I went to fight Alphadran the Gentle Sky Dragon again. Unfortunately, Fanglobe killed it before I could catch it. That was the second time. But it did get me high quality oil. That was enough to make the handgun for now. But this can't be the source I have to rely on. Maybe it means that dragons are the source. Well, not quite, because Chillin doesn't give you the stuff. Because I really wanted to make sure I got the ingots together for the weapon assembly line, I made my way over to the future third base location that I have marked on my map, and collected extra ore to smelt into ingots. Before going to bed that night, I crafted a handgun, eager to test it out the next morning. Okay, doesn't do as much damage as expected, but it's a hell of a lot faster than the crossbow I've been using, so that definitely helps. In an effort to level up a bit more, I grinded bosses and pals for all of day 47. Besides catching a shiny Fwog, nothing too interesting happened. I was feeling that my 50-day journey was almost at an end, and a lot of the things I wanted to try would take me a few days to get ready for. So I decided on 2 remaining goals for the challenge that seemed to be within reach. Number 1, I had to make that third base location happen. And number 2, I want to fight the biggest, baddest, meanest pal that I've seen on the map. To get that first challenge out of the way, I had to get my hands on all the extra ore that I could find. So I took Rush Ore in my party and flew to the future base location to do some extra mining. To get some more XP, I tried to catch another Broncherry, but Fenworm accidentally killed it. And the same happened when I went to fight the Ball Sweeper. But then late at night, my luck turned around when I caught a Woolly Pulp and realized that it dropped something that I have been trying to locate for a while. High quality Pal oil. These guys are easy enough to find near Bushy's boss arena. But as I made my way up the ridge, it got even better. Because Relaxaurus drops oil too. I captured a few and let Relaxaurus Lux get rid of the rest of his baby brothers for a pretty epic haul of the Pal oil that I have been looking for ages. At least that mystery is solved. I kept farming oil in the area until well into the next morning before making my way home. Once I got there, I had all the resources to construct the weapon assembly line, as well as the high quality hot spring. This thing has palm trees and stuff, epic! With the requirements now met, I upgraded my base to level 15 and flew off to construct a new mining operation right away. Some pal beds, a feed box, furnaces. This place can be pretty simple. I'll just go here to make ingots and that's it for now. On the night of day 49, I ran into Grintail, which I hadn't seen before. This thing is terrifying, so I wasn't even mad when Fanglope killed it. All in all, I had completed all my goals for the 50-day challenge except for that last one I set. I've managed to struggle my way through the challenges that the Palpagos threw at me. I've made a cool base that I really enjoy coming back to after a day of adventuring. I have caught a bunch of cool pals. Now, I just have to fight the meanest one that I've seen. Yormonside. A crazy looking water dragon who is no less than 12 levels higher than me at this point. Oh my god, he doesn't take any damage, this is bad. Wait, what? No way. This is crazy. Relaxaurus Lux just yeeted him out of render distance. You know what? I'm going to take this as a win. If you want to see me beat Yormonside and the rest of the game proper, leave a like on the video. And if we get to 25k likes, I'll finish what I started. Thanks for watching. Looney